What's up, you guys? I hope you all had a great holiday. Today was a half day. Tesla actually was up, hit highs of about $238.76. I did end up closing today my calls that I had for December 8th for a $1,700 profit, and I do plan to re-enter some calls into next week. We're going to go over that within this video. I was 100% accurate for the week, making $23,000. Phenomenal week. Not every week is like that. I said this in our letter to all of our private members in our Discord community, which if you guys do want to get access to all my trades, it's 80% off for the first month today and tomorrow if you use the code 80 monthly, and monthly starts with a capital N. The second link in the description down below. But let's go over the setup on Tesla. So you guys can see here that at the moment, we're really using some simple indicators. This one that you're going to see here that has these blue pivot lines, this is a premium indicator that we have within our trading community that I spoke about earlier. But all those indicators you can get for free. It's just it would take up like 7 or 8 slots, and it's not set to our normal setting. But you can see that we've just bottomed out down here at like 196, like we've been saying for a bit, pushed back up, consolidated back down, bounced off of this order block, tested the 200 SMA, pulled back down, and now you can see we had that change of character back here at about $226, and all that means is that the resistance level was broken. So now instead of this being a resistance, we're pushing through. This should now be a new support, and we should continue our movement up now that that market structure has been broken. So if we were to take our horizontal box tool, we could just come here and create this range. It doesn't have to be a specific tight price. We want to use a range, but basically this is the level that we will pull back to if we give up this pivot level of $223. So basically, if I zoom in a little bit here, this is the level that I was talking about on the video on Wednesday, was this support level of 235. So if we pull out over here, actually I have to zoom out a little bit more so you guys can see. This is going to be our weekly open. So this level, this pivot level, is very important because this is where the week opened. You can see we have our weekly high and our weekly low. So these are going to be our pivot levels to where, listen, if Tesla breaks over 246, we're easily running up into the 260. If we break this pivot level of 234.23, we're easily going to gap back down to 23.74 and maybe even down to 212. Using these ranges are really, really good on the 4-hour time frames when you're using those pivot points from like a weekly time frame. So looking here, we were hoping that we would see this bounce off of this pivot level, which we did today, and then we ended up getting this rally up 2.6%. And I was explaining to my team, like, listen, I want to continue to hold on to this position, but at the end of the day, like, it didn't seem like we were going to get enough of a push right back up to 247. And the other thing too, which I don't talk too much about this on this channel, which I can, but I wanted a different strike price, and I wanted to roll my contracts because my contracts were in the money and my contracts expired on December 8th. So if this took a bit to continue to move up to 247, I wanted to have more time on my hands. So on Monday, I'm hoping that we will end up entering or opening somewhere around this level. Best case would be a pull down to 235. But from here up to our target level of about 246.69, that's about a 5.37% return. And what you could do is, if you wanted to be very, very aggressive with your stop loss, just set the stop loss at a lower low, right? Because if we break this pivot level and then we make a lower low, our chances of pulling back down to 220 are pretty high. This would give you a 2.72 RVR. And if you wanted to actually pull it down to where your stop loss would technically be at 220, then you have a 0.89 RVR, but you can see the accuracy rating up here, 163 of 83, a much higher accuracy rating if we're actually taking it from the point of entry. So I do think that as long as we hold 235, we should see Tesla continue to rally next week up to 246.39. And my plan is really just going to be to grab some shares, hopefully on Monday, at a pretty solid price. And if we zoom in here on the daily chart, you're also going to see a couple of key things that are happening here, right? Our weekly pivot levels are sitting in the same level, but now we have some order blocks. So we have this order block up here. For those of you who do not know what an order block is, basically it's an institutional order that is either going to be a big bearish block or a big bullish block. So this I have green because that's just my actual marker. I shouldn't actually have it set like that. But you can see here that this would normally be a bearish order block, which is going to act as a resistance. So if we were to break through the 252 resistance, look what's up here, a liquidity level. So we have this liquidity level, 276 up to 280, and then from there up to 300. So if we were to zoom this picture out a little bit here, we were to take a trend level and we were to show, right, these are all of our resistance points. Every time we've attempted to break through, we've been able and we've rejected from these liquidity levels. So we have this resistance level coming through here. We have this channel support level coming through here, which we've obviously bounced off of. I don't need to draw that out at this moment. But what we're really looking for is this breakout. So if we were, and this is how I'd be playing this if you're really trying to potentially run this up into like the 300s and you're bullish, if you were to enter here, set a stop loss down here at like a break of probably 210, but on this bigger time frame, you're looking at take profit level at 277.91. That's 18% up. Then your second take level profits at 300. That's 27% up. So you're looking somewhere between 2 to 3 RVR. And if we were to pop this out into the weekly, it would be the same situation. You see a liquidity level sitting up here, and then another one up at 350 is that order block. So I do think that at the end of the day, Tesla's at least going to push up to 260. I have prior spoken about deciding to short Tesla up at 260, and I still may do that. If we go over to TrendSpider, which is another great platform that I do like to use, it's usually a lot cleaner. That's why I like to use this. I don't get to use all the great indicators that I like to use, like that we custom have over on TradingView. But still, you guys can see that if we look at this big volume block sitting here on this volume profile, for those of you who don't know what a volume profile is, it is this horizontal chart to the right here, this dark blue. And whenever you see this, basically what it's telling you is if we were to kind of like zoom out here, at what levels big money and institutions are buying at. Because the thing is, like, these volume bars at the bottom will tell you how many shares are being traded, but it's not going to tell you at what volume. If we were to actually just take a block, like a horizontal rectangle here, and set it up right here, we can see this is a heavy level. And then if we were to come over here and draw this out at 200 to 180, that's another heavy level. So these are going to be very strong resistances and very strong supports. We can even come over here and basically draw this out and look at exactly how that's leveling out, and then draw this out and look at how that's leveling out. So strong support, strong resistance, strong support. And these levels between them, so basically from 200 to 240 and from about 180 all the way down to 160, and then as we've been saying, 260 all the way up to 320, these levels, this is where we get the major moves, the major breakouts, the tons and tons and tons of volatility, because there's no money in those levels. And the thing is, like, we want to be trading with big money because they're the ones who create the liquidity. They're the ones who create the volume when we end up seeing big moves. They're the ones who are able to move the market. Like, we're unable to move the market. So I do think that Tesla's probably going to continue to push up through $300. I may short up at 260, but we'll see what ends up happening. My plan, if everything were to play out correctly, because I do see a lot of people here, and you bring up a very good point when they're like, dude, one day you're bullish, one day you're bearish. It's trading, right? But in a perfect world, I would be bullish all the way up to 260, flip-flop and ride it back down to 220, and then play the big move back up to 280. That's a perfect world. But basically, I'm bullish until we hit 255, 260, and I'm bearish until we hit 268. Because once we're over 260 and we're holding over 260, dude, there's no reason to be short, because there's no volume from here up to 310. So we're just going to skyrocket our way right through all of those levels. It's going to take some time because we're looking at really, really big time frames here. But still, I hope this video helped, guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Don't forget, take advantage of the Black Friday sale. Get access to all of my trades, all of our trading bots. Absolutely phenomenal deal, guys. This week alone, we're up about $23,000. We post all of our day trades, all of our swing trades. You get access to all of our live streams, and the goal is just to get you guys profitable and consistent and not make hundreds of percents return in a couple of months, but to give you guys a very steady footing, a very steady platform, and more importantly, like a steady mindset when it comes to trading psychology and understanding probabilities that will make 2024 the easiest year of trading that you've ever had, the most consistent year of trading that you've ever had, and most importantly, the most stress-free year that you've ever had. So the code is 80 monthly with a capital M, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.